Good morning, YouTube, or good afternoon, good evening, good night, whatever time it is for you. Today, we're here to bring you not a wonderful farm. We're not going to bring you a farm at all. Today, we're going to discuss Minecraft mechanics. I do plan on doing a series of these videos where I just explain different aspects of the game that maybe aren't very obvious. And one that's been popping up a lot lately is Lush Caves, as in, how do you know that you're in one? I mean, it's pretty obvious, isn't it? I'm in a lush cave right now. Am I in a lush cave? I might be. But you know what? Today we're going to discuss biomes. Specifically cave biomes and how they're kind of weird. So I'm going to start. We're going to go all the way up. Bear with me. If you were expecting some off-the-hinge rant, ugh. I have night vision going, so it doesn't matter. Your standard biome in the game, in this case, this is a mega taiga. Over there, you have a birch forest in the distance, a dark forest. You have a river biome over there. And the way that these work is these surface biomes are they're just biomes. The game basically breaks down into you have biomes and then you have cave biomes. And we're going to talk about what the very important difference is between those and why you should care. So, we're just going to go with Mega Taiga. This Mega Taiga biome extends all the way from world height. This is a Mega Taiga no matter how high you go. This is always going to be a Mega Taiga all the way down until you get to bedrock. And that's it. That is how surface biomes work. They go all the way up to all the way down. And then, cave biomes, of which there are three. You have lush caves. You have dripstone caves over here. And then, way down below, you also have deep dark that will generate near the bottom. And you can usually tell by skulk. But everyone seems to get confused about chunk base. And when chunk base shows you a cave biome, it's not showing you where they are. It's showing you where they can be. Because unlike the rest of the game, where it goes all the way from the top to the bottom, cave biomes have a Y-level component to them that gets people confused. What does that mean? It means I have a dripstone cave on this exact block. 2 blocks down, I have a mega taiga biome, and then I have a dripstone cave again. This is a biome blob that generates, and it's not just in the open. You can go back quite a ways, and you still might get, oh look, that's dripstone cave. So rule number 1, it's not actually a cave. They call it a cave biome. That doesn't mean it has to be open. It just has to be underground. And I use underground very loosely here because these blob of biomes can actually generate all the way up at Y level 300. You can have a lush cave or a dripstone cave at the top of the world. It's rare, but you can find seeds where they happen. And today, we're going to go over this. Again, dripstone, mega taiga, dripstone. As you go this way, you get less dripstone. As you go this way, you get more. Notice there aren't exactly a lot of stalactites, or there's not a lot of dripstone around here, and yet it's still that. So rule number 1, just because you don't see the biome structure doesn't mean it's not there. And that brings us to rule number 2. Just because you do see it doesn't mean it is. Now, this is a dripstone cave. If I go over here, you're going to get to certain areas where you might think that this is, in fact, oh, look, you have a glowberry bush. You have moss right above it, but there's a snow golem has left snow. Fun fact, survival tip number 1, snow golems are really useful for figuring out this location. Look, I have clay right here. You would think that this spot right here is a lush cave. Wrong one. It's a dripstone cave. Look at it. There's clay, but it's dripstone. What if it was normal rock? Again, it could be a lush cave, but just because you have moss and clay doesn't mean it is a lush cave. This is the aggravating thing that people don't understand. So let's say this has been coming up a lot with fish farms. Rusty, my fish farm's not working. Or usually they're actually say like, Silent, my fish farm's not working. And then someone will tag me saying, well, I know fish. And then I'll try to explain this in a message chat. And so now I'm just going to start linking to this. So rule number 1, if you want a lush cave, the lush cave temperature is high enough that snow will not form on the ground from a snow golem. This does not apply to dripstone caves or deep dark. But if you are looking for a lush cave, and you put a snow golem down in it, well, looky there. But I push him this way, and then all of a sudden, start walking. Why are you doing this to me? Again. You'll get snow right here, because this is a lush cave. Really? Really? Again, there's temperature gradients also going on here. That's the problem. This block is still technically a lush cave, but if I go one over, it starts turning to dripstone. So right at the edge, you might get some snow. So what's the rule? If you want a lush cave, and you put down a snow golem, and he's not leaving snow behind, you're in a lush cave. What good are lush caves? Well, you can get moss from them. That's always good. Azaleas. I mean, they're beautiful in general. The big thing about lush caves everybody wants them for is tropical fish. They'll go sit there and build a farm and then be like, I built it in the right place. I have moss above me. Why is it not working? Well, because you're right next to a lush cave, but you're not in one. And if you're not in one, fish aren't going to spawn. Or axolotl for that point. Here's another good way to tell. Look at the watercolor. This is like a kind of blue. But as it goes down into a different biome, a megataiga, the watercolor changes. This doesn't work for every single biome because, well, you know what? Dripstone caves and lush caves, they both have the same color. But if you're trying to build a fish farm under, underground, and you happen to be in a, I don't know, say a swamp where no fish will spawn, only in a mangrove swamp, you'll get a darker color. If you're trying to build a mangrove swamp on a lush cave, you can utilize this as a good indication of where you might want to put your farm. Up here, where it's bright blue, we have a lush cave. And down here, where we don't, we have a megataiga. Also, you could just buy Foxy No-Tail's marker pack from the marketplace for $1.99. If you're on console, that's the only way to be able to directly view this. If you're playing on computer, you can find plenty. I have no idea what they are. I'm on console. But there are other things like Canopy, I think, can display biome information. I digress. This is already getting along. So that's it for lush caves. Snow golems won't leave behind any snow. Dripstone caves has pretty much the same color of water. Unfortunately. I guess that might be a little brighter blue over here. No, because this is still, I can't tell the difference. See, that's a dripstone cave, and that looks the same color as that. But again, we're getting somewhere. What good are dripstone caves are? Besides getting dripstone, which if all you want is dripstone, you're not really worried about the finer parsing of biomechanics. So you probably already quit. I digress. What's special about dripstone caves? Well, I mean, not too much. Copper will generate more in them, as if we don't have enough copper now. And drowned will also spawn, as the only cave. And before anyone asks, no, you can't make a super awesome drowned farm with having an ocean overhead and then a dripstone cave underneath, because dripstone cave has a thing called continental value, and biomechanics get really deep, which we're not going into here. But basically, the higher the continental value, the further away it is from land. So lush caves will not generate under an ocean. The wiki says that it's rare. I've never seen it once. If someone knows a seed where there is an ocean, any ocean, I don't care if it's frozen, I don't care if it's a warm ocean, with a lush cave, like not a lush cave, a dripstone cave right underneath it, please comment, and I will do a drowned farm that is double stacked utilizing the surface and cave caps immediately. Copper's pointless to farm, but I'll do it because I've been looking for one for years. Please, if you know one, like, send it to me. Now, there's also one other cave biome. That other cave biome can't go all the way up. It sticks around at the very bottom, and that is our friend, the deep dark. Typically, you can tell you're in a deep dark because you'll have skulk. But look, right here. This is the perfect example. I have a mega tiger right here, even though there's skulk. What good are deep darks for? Well, to get catalysts, to get skulk, you can break it. The ancient cities will only generate in the deep dark. So you got to go down there to get those. However, fun fact, nothing will spawn inside of a deep dark. So if you're looking for a safe place to build a base underground and you don't want to mob-proof anything, as long as you get rid of those shriekers for summoning the warden, nothing else is going to spawn. Here's the problem. You see skulk. You think, okay, nothing's going to spawn but the warden, but you're wrong because it says Mega Tiger right there. And that's it. Let's go back into spectator mode for a little bit. And again, if you pay attention, you have a dripstone cave right next to a lush cave, right next to the deep dark, and the deep dark is directly over, or I should say under, a lush cave under a mega taiga, which means at world height you have a mega taiga, and then here you have a lush cave biome, and then you keep going down and you'll have a mega taiga again until ultimately you get to the very bottom and oh look, you're in a deep dark. Who's confused? Hopefully not you. It's a lot to process. Oh, let me get back out of spectator. See here, you have, let's take a look. This is deep dark. But right over here is Mega Taiga. And you can end up with a situation where there's no skulk, but it might still be a deep dark. And you could have a situation where there's a lot of skulk, and it's not a deep dark. And that same rule applies to dripstone caves and lush caves. And this is just weird and wonky cave mechanics with Old Rusty. If the marker pack is the easiest way to go about summoning this thing. It's just like, oh no. He'll scream, but I'm in peaceful, so it doesn't matter. You do have a limitation on the deep dark. Will not generate any higher than, I think it's about 15. As in Y level 15. So it could still go pretty high. And lush caves and dripstone caves can go all the way down the bedrock, but they usually don't. They exist in these kind of biome blobs. Think of them like ore veins, right? Like, it's all the stone is the biome that it normally is, and then you find veins of iron or copper or andesite tuff, whatever you want to go with here. It's just a good example, right? Like, right here could be the mega taiga, and then over here is deep dark, and then you go right back over again, and it's mega taiga. And it can go above, it can go below, all the way down the bedrock level. And then, of course, you have void. Although, I wouldn't count a void as a cave biome. It's more just like you're going to die. So, if you're looking to build a double layer fish farm, you need to go into creative. Make a copy of your world, and really work out and parse the finer details of where am I building this thing. Here you have dripstone and lush cave, and you have no idea which biome it is. You could drop a snow golem. You get a big old lush cave like this. I mean, look, this is a fairly massive cave. Rusty, would I be safe building it here? Well, here's the issue. Yep, that's Lush Cave. What about a couple blocks down? Mega Taiga. Mega Taiga. You see how we're moving into the biome and it's still... There's my Lush Cave right there. If you build your fish farm over here, you're good. If you build it 10 blocks over this way, you just wasted a lot of time and nothing's ever going to spawn. It's sad, really, but that's how it is. Now, watch this. Break that snow golem guy out. Oh, and he's just... Let's push him. Look at that. Over here, they're generating, and over here, they're not. Way too many snow golems. So that's a useful way to figure out if it's a lush cave. And I hope that we've broken down a little bit on how cave biomes generate. If you're enjoying this kind of detailed breakdown of mechanics, I could continue doing that with some of my other favorite biomes. Oh, look, there's a friend. And you know what? Today we're not going to kill him. Because I like axolotl. And I love me some tropical fish. And you go and you find yourself a lukewarm ocean over a lush cave. And you can get 55,000 bone meal an hour with barely even trying. Silence has a tutorial coming out soon. But this really trips up everybody. Hey, my farm's not working. Why is my farm not working? I'm in a lush cave. You're not. If fish aren't spawning, you're not in a lush cave. It looks like a lush cave, but you're not in one. Rusty, I want to verify. Use a snow golem. I mean, look, they're just doing their thing. This is all not lush cave. But over here, that all is. When it comes to dripstone and deep dark, I mean, you're just going to have to take your time or get a marker pack. That's it. If you like these kind of videos and you want some more breakdown of biome mechanics, the Nether's got some good ones. My favorite biome to farm any passive mob out of is meadows. We can talk about spawn rates, spawn weights, and chunks another time. Let me know. Old Rusty out!